I don't wish jail upon no motherfucker. Like, good shit he beat the case. You get what I'm saying? I don't want jail on no motherfucker gang, but what's self-defense about that? You tell me, you feel like that was self-defense? Honestly, no, I want y'all honest opinion because I see the internet saying that's self-defense. Self-defense, he got to oppose a threat to you. Vaughn was fighting him bare arms, gang. Vaughn was fighting Lul Timm. You was in a vehicle. I mean, Vaughn was fighting Quando. You was in a vehicle. How is that self-defense? That's why I say that's the media giving their perspective. Self-defense wouldn't be Lul Timm hopping out of the car protecting his guy because he getting jumped or whooped one-on-one regardless.
Right.
So, Vaughn didn't pose no threat to you with no weapon, no files, no form. So how could it possibly be for self-defense? That's why I don't believe the media. That's what the media is saying. Oh, he beat it because of self-defense. Ain't no telling why he beat that case, man. The justice system hate Vaughn, gang. They hate me, gang. So I know how this shit go. Like, everybody beating their case clearly, you feel me? I hope Thug never come from under their shit. Shit, like, I don't want nobody in jail, gang. Like, that ain't never been my type of time. And anyway, like, a lot of niggas got their opinions. Oh, yeah, he should have got booked. He should have got this. That's good he beat his shit, man. You feel me? That's good he beat his shit. Like, who the fuck want to see a motherfucker in jail just because we lost our homie to this shit? You ain't no real nigga if you claiming you in the streets. Like, why you want to see a motherfucker in jail? Why you want to see a motherfucker get wrapped up for some shit? Like, what's gonna happen, gonna happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, we know this shit already, bro. Like, but I never.
What's up, everybody? It's Clarissa J, back with another video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I drop more videos. I hope everybody is doing great. Now, let's get into the topic at hand. So, THF Bayzoo, he did an interview on No Jumper. And, you know, they were asking him about, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. And then they got to the topic of, you know, Lul Timm beating his case and, you know, people saying that he beat the case off self-defense and stuff like that. Now, I'm not exactly sure why the case was dismissed, you know. It could have been self-defense. It could have been because the police killed Vaughn or whatever. But you know, every state got different laws. You know, Chicago, they obviously have different laws than, you know, Georgia, Atlanta, or whatever. You know, but self-defense could be, you know, protecting yourself, you know, or somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I know recently there was a case that happened. I believe it was in Chicago. And, you know, there was a kid and he, you know, was protecting his mom because she was getting, you know, beat up by a man while they were like getting their food or something like that. And, you know, they decided not to press charges on that. Even though they could have, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even though he was just a kid, it's like they still could have, because there's plenty of situations where, you know, it don't go viral and nobody recorded it, and there's a lot of motherfuckers that's in situations like that that's in jail, you know, got locked up and got charged. But, you know, the kid basically, you know, he got his mom's gun, you know, and he seen what was happening, and then he got the gun and he shot the guy who was hitting his mom, and he ended up killing him. You know, so in that situation, it's like, yeah, technically it is self-defense, you know, because self-defense would, you know, it don't just have to be you, but it could be, you know, a loved one or something like that too. But like, you know, somebody you with, or you trying to protect somebody else, basically, if they're a threat to you or somebody else, you know. But he ended up shooting that guy, and then it was like he ended up killing him, you know, and they decided not to press charges for that, which is understandable. But at the same time, it was like, you know, I feel like if it didn't go viral the way it did, and it wasn't recorded and all that type of stuff, and there wasn't such, you know, outrage and like backlash and stuff, I feel like he would have got charged only because of the fact that he killed him. Because it's like, you didn't have to kill him. And again, he's a kid though, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of motherfuckers, they don't care about that aspect. They'll charge you even if you are a kid. Some of them will charge you as an adult, you know? But, you know, because he could have, you know, hit him in the leg, you know, a non-lethal shot. But it's like, again, he's a kid, so he probably not exactly thinking like that, which is probably why, you know, they didn't press charges on him or whatever. But with the Zoo, what Zoo is talking about with, you know, Lul Timm and the whole Quando King Von situation. Yes, you know, technically Lul Timm, it would be declared as self-defense because he was, you know, protecting Quando, and no weapons were involved. You know, it was a one-on-one fight, you know, between King Von and Quando. But, you know, Lul Timm got out the car and he decided to start shooting. And it was like, you could have went different ways about the situation. You know, a lot of people say he could have just broke up the fight or jumped in or just, you know, let him get the fair one or whatever. But it's like, ain't no, it, in Tim's mind probably, you know, it probably was no telling what they would have done. You know, because it's just them two out there. And you got a whole bunch of motherfuckers with Von, you know, like he got all his homies and all of that type of stuff. And no, they weren't jumping Quando or nothing like that. But ain't no telling what they could have done, you know. Ain't no telling if they got guns on them. Ain't no telling if they would have possibly jumped in. So in his mind, he probably like, all right, I'm gonna just shoot first and ask questions later, you know. But you know, Zoo, you know, he felt like it wasn't self-defense because it's like he felt like, you know, he wasn't a threat to Tim, you know. But in some places it's different, you know what I'm saying? Like you could, you know, it don't have to necessarily be you. It could be somebody else, and you could be, you know, protecting them because they can't necessarily protect themselves, you know. But I understand where Zoo is coming from, but at the same time, if they did let him off for self-defense, it'll probably be because of the potential threat of not just Von, but like everybody else that's around, you know, because ain't no telling what they would do. And in Tim's mind, he's probably like, they're probably thinking about it from his perspective because, you know, in order for it to get dropped, he got to give his perspective, or his lawyer, you know, would have to give his perspective on his behalf, you know. But it's like, if I'm fighting you and it's like my friend, his like Lul Timm, he in the car, his friend fighting another motherfucker, and it's just them two. Ain't nobody else gonna help them if some shit go off and then they all start jumping on both of them. It's just the two of them. So I guess he figured he was going to just start shooting. Honestly, the whole situation is just unfortunate, you know. We all wish, you know, Von never would have, you know, woke up and got out the car and started hitting Quando, you know, because then none of this would have happened, you know. Honestly, we all just wish he wasn't even at the club in general, but it is what it is, you know. But Zoo, he didn't. He just was saying, you know, he didn't feel like it was self-defense, but he didn't really say anything like too crazy though, you know. He didn't say, you know, fuck him or nothing like that, you know. He was basically saying, you know, he don't wish jail on nobody, and he was glad he beat the case. Now some people might look at that as like he'd rather him free than in jail, so that way he could catch him type shit. That's possible, you know. But it didn't, like, you know, he wasn't basically saying, you know, anything like, damn, I wish he, you know, didn't beat it or some shit like that, you know. He wasn't on that type of time, you know. And he's basically saying like no real motherfucker would even wish jail on somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if when you in that type of shit, like, you know how this goes or whatever, and whatever happens gonna happen pretty much. And that's true, you know. But it didn't really seem like he was on no like dissing type of thing or nothing like that. But, you know, he was just basically saying he didn't feel like it was self-defense. And, you know, but Adam and them, they also asked him if he heard about, you know, the police actually being the ones that killed him. And, you know, Zoo was saying he didn't really hear about that as well. And it's like, you know, that's also another possibility of this whole thing. Like, even if it wasn't technically self-defense and the cops were actually the one who killed Vaughn and not Tim, that's also a possibility. Because from what Zoo's recording of that night, which I did a video on also, it was like a whole bunch of shots going off. We all noticed. Like, it was cops shooting, Tim was shooting, some people from Vaughn's side was shooting too. So it's just like, ain't no telling for real. Like, the cops could have killed him. For all we know, Tim could have just shot him one time. He could have, you know, and he probably would have been fine that one time. But the cops probably could have added more shots. Who knows? You know, there's no way to really tell. You know, I feel like whoever did the, you know, the autopsy or whatever, they probably would know like exactly where the bullets came from, because they got to match them up to the guns, you know. But and whoever the medical examiner was or whatever, the autopsy person or whatever, they probably would know which gun would be the fatal one. But also, since all the shots kind of came around the same time, it's probably hard for them to tell. But, you know, it's honestly just an unfortunate situation. But, you know, Lul Timm, he did, you know, beat the case or whatever, you know. But I feel like a lot of people was kind of expecting that to happen anyway, though, because of what happened and how it happened and the circumstances of the situation. But let me know what you guys think about this. You guys felt like, you know, Tim beat it on self-defense, or he didn't, or if you feel like, you know, this just social media saying it was self-defense, or you guys felt like Tim was the one, he didn't actually do the killing and it was actually the cops. You know, there's a whole bunch of ways this could have went. How you guys feel about what Zoo said? Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when I drop more videos. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.